the cloud. Where's Jackie?
Oh,
Jackie, are we live? Oh, Jackie's late. Oh my goodness, Jackie's late. Usually she sounds the alarm. We're live.
we're live.
We're
live.
live.
We're live.
All right, welcome everybody. So glad you're here. Welcome to our daily success call for Thursday, the 9th of April. I see a bunch of my friends here. There's Mark. There's Kate. Hi, Kate. There's William, Peter, and Christine. Kurt, welcome. There's Karen. Hope you're feeling good, Karen. Alex, welcome. Tom out on the water. Look at you, Tom. You're just living it up, brother. There's Tom. There's Paula. Good to see you, Paula. Carol Ann. Polly. Look at that smile on Polly. Look at that. There we are. Hey, Annie. Good to see you guys. Jason, Sylvia, Gail, and everybody else. We're going to go ahead and mute the lines so we can hear ourselves think. We got a little wind noise there on Tom out in the Gulf, doing the whole Gulf thing, right? Catching the flounder, catching the redfish. You know, back when I grew up in New Jersey, we had flounder in the bay, Barnegat Bay, it's called, over there, central east coast of New Jersey. And they're always good to catch, good to eat if you're into fish. Nice white meat there. So we are going to have a conversation today about a couple of things, starting with your unanswered questions from days of yore, starting with Esther. Please, Esther, you had a question about some of the stuff that we talked about yesterday, some exhibits over the last couple of days. How do you open a file, stuff like that? Esther, how can we help you?
What my computer keeps saying, I need to download an app, but it doesn't tell me what kind of app.
Okay.
It's not compatible. My computer's a Tubash or something like that.
Tubash?
Yeah. So it needs an app to download the file that you put on yesterday.
Okay. So depending on what kind of file you're talking about, if it's a spreadsheet, and I don't know what a Tubash is, okay, but if it's a spreadsheet, if somebody knows what a Tubash is, please enlighten me.
It's a computer. It's a laptop I have. The TOSHIBA.
Toshiba. It's a Toshiba.
Thank you.
Toshiba.
It's a Toshiba.
Sorry.
So that's a big company. They invented the laptop computer some decades ago. Yeah. So Toshiba. Yes. And it's Windows, I'm assuming. Windows.
Yes, I just actually downloaded Windows 10. I had it all remade because something happened to the computer.
Okay, so then what you need is Excel or Word or the Microsoft Office suite. Okay, now that's a paid service, a paid software package. You can also, I believe, you can open up spreadsheets with other software. So just maybe type in your search, your browser, right? How to view a spreadsheet without
Google
Excel, right?
Google Sheets will do it.
Google Sheets, okay. But now we're
There you go.
relying on the internet and Google to open up a document that you can't open yourself. So maybe you just upload it to the Google Sheet and then you reveal all your data to Google, which they're very happy to receive, and then you get to view the document. Or you can just run Microsoft Office. In my case, we heard some talk earlier about how, if you guys recall, if you were here a couple of days ago, I wound up molesting that file by opening it on my Mac, and it turned it into a numbers file, right? Because Mac doesn't do the Excel thing. Well, it does, to the point where it'll say, all right, here it is for you, Mac user. That's a numbers program, okay? So it's just different technology, but the spreadsheet is what you're looking for and to view. Does that help you, Esther?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. You are welcome. And we had another question on the floor. In fact, we're going to go right into some Q&A today. And then I've got just a tiny little topic that came to me while I was running around the block. But we have some brand new members here who I just got to meet. We got Chris in the house, Marnie, welcome, David, and Justine. Justine's a songwriter, by the way. So really, really cool to meet our friends here. And Justine had a question about Justine, if you're on here with us live, not sure if you made it live, you feel free to unmute, but Justine is already on her third module. She is just like tearing it up. So Justine, if you're here, if you want to unmute, that would be great.
Yep.
Hey, there she is. I can't see you, but I think I can hear you.
Yes, here I am.
Can we get that camera running and I can introduce you to everybody if that works for you. And then here she is, Justine, ladies and gentlemen. All the way from, I forgot now where you're from. My goodness, you're in
London.
Where in the UK are you?
London.
London. I've heard of it. Yes. So Justine in London, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of Londoners here, by the way. So meet one of your neighbors. So she had a question about shipping and arranging shipping before placing the order. Justine, you want to restate that question so that some of our peers who are further down the road can.
Yeah, I was just slightly confused about the order in which the system works. In that, it's suggested that we book the shipping before we place the order, and then Sophie says you'll probably have to cancel the shipping, but you have to book it before you place the order. So I'm just confused as to why that's the case.
Mm-hmm. So I know we've got some seasoned veterans on here with us today, and we can certainly hear from you if you'd like to address that question, Michelle.
Justine, I think because I just finished that same module, I think it's because you need to be able to get the shipping costs in order to fill out, figure out if it's competitive for you. Do you understand? And then you'll be able to cancel it if the numbers don't work out for you. But you need those shipping costs.
Right, I hear that. It's just It's made clear that that's where you need them.
I know it's very confusing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Justine. So you see, when questions like this come up, and the reason that I wanted to introduce that and hear it directly from the source of the question, Justine in this case, is because our perception of how we actually put this stuff to use is super important, right? The whole idea of the education is that you can have an effect with it. So in this case, if that's something confusing, and this goes for everybody, if you come across anything in the Blue Sky program that you find some disparity or contradiction or something missing, I know sometimes people have asked, hey, where's the document? Okay, so knowledge, customer support at knowledgesource.com.au can and should hear about that. So they want your feedback. They want to make sure that you're dazzled and delighted. And I will tell you, Sophie is very committed to that. As I think Justine and everyone is finding, there's a lot of content, and Sophie over delivers like on everything. But she definitely wants you to have success with this. Another thing regarding regarding Facebook groups is, you guys know that I'm not like a big social media guy. I think social media is like handing out microphones to drunks, right? Everybody's got an opinion. However, there is a files section in the Product University Facebook group. If somebody could post a link to that group here in the chat. Not that you should go there and veg out in the Facebook group, just letting you know that the files section of the Facebook group exists, and it is rich with content. Okay, some of that content, Esther, you'll have to open with Excel or something, right? There's spreadsheets and things like that, but lots of good documents in there. So John Hyder, you've got your mic open. What's going on, John?
John, what happens whenever there's a return or a refund? How is that programmed back to your account?
Okay, so that would be within like FBA, right? Assuming you're running fulfillment by Amazon,
right?
All that technology happens on your behalf, which actually our coach, Amanda, who we had out yesterday, who's one of the Amazon coaches. In fact, she's been coaching new members here for 18 months, so she's quite versed in that. She was espousing, the advantages of FBA over fulfilled by merchant. So obviously, if you're fulfilling by merchant, then you're handling all that, right? If fulfilled by Amazon, that's all out of your hands, and they take care of that, and they give you the sales reports. So that's pretty much hands off. In fact, it's very much hands off, which is why you pay Amazon to handle that stuff. I gave the example yesterday, John, of my books, right? When I first published my first book, I'll go ahead and take cases of books, and when people hit my website, and I'll just go ahead and lick envelopes or whatever, well, that got out of control really quick, right? So now it's like, here you go, Amazon, keep half the profit. I don't care. I don't want to touch the books. All right. So that's the main difference there. Does that answer your question?
Once Amazon handles that, does the deduction go right to your account?
Well, sure. Yeah. All the accounting is done at the level on the platform, Amazon.
Okay. So you'll see it on your printout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So does anybody else, and maybe I'm missing part of John's question, does anybody else have any additional details, that nuances about that? No?
John, I'm wondering if it's sort of the, because I'm kind of in that same situation, just trying to understand that part of it. What I kind of get is it's sort of the debit and credit environment. You know, you get a printout, an account history report of sorts, and it just lists down, kind of like your bank statement would. This is what you were charged, and this is what you have been credited. This is what's gone into your account, and this is what's being taken out as an expense from the actions that we need to take, or something to that effect. I haven't seen one yet because, you know, I'm still a newbie, but I kind of gather that's how it works.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
If I
Good
may.
stuff. Hey, how's it going
How
there,
are you
brother?
doing, John?
Good.
It's been good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that everything is done on Amazon platform. So once they pay you out, that's when it's go to your actual account. So everything will be done on Amazon platform. So you'll see the spreadsheet of all the things, the orders going out, the money coming in. But it's when you actually do a payout to your account that the money will go to your account. So everything will be done on Amazon platform.
There you go. Very good, Jaron. Jaron, I'm giving you a call in a little bit. I got you on my list for calls today. So I will talk with you in just a little bit. All right. So John Hyder, very good. Thank you for that question. Any other lingering questions from anybody before we get into a brief topic for this morning? Leading up to, of course, tomorrow, which is Fun Friday, which I'm wondering who's going to tell us a joke. Because on Fun Friday, hey, for the benefit of our new members here, we got 3 policies in place. If you can't be on time, be early. Fridays, come with a joke, which you may or may not tell. And if a dog barks while your microphone is unmuted, you must present the dog so the whole group can enjoy the dog visually as well as audibly. All right. So there's the Facebook group link in the chat. Thank you, Pete, Christine, and Tolu, who posted that group. And again, the file section is gold. The discussion is do what you will with that. No other questions. All right, moving on. Hey, I was reviewing a book that I've read before, which I know a lot of you guys are reading in some cases for the first time, called Miracle Morning, Hal Elrod. Simple book, definitely, obviously one of the ones that I recommended as you know, brand new members of the crew here. And I was reviewing some of the concepts that he talked about in that book, and an overarching idea came up for me while I was reviewing that. And the idea is where a lot of people have tended to allow themselves to get into a habit of going at whatever pace they've been going and getting whatever level of results that they've been getting up to this point, which is very comfortable, right? We get into a habit, and habits are comfortable because we don't have to think so much, okay? But the resistance that a lot of people experience when they're engaging in something new, myself included, okay, as you guys know, I don't claim to have arrived or, you know, perfected all this stuff. Okay, give me time. It's only been like 35 years, but the resistance that we sometimes experience is that inertia, that an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Now, you may be feeling like, well, I'm already, you know, working around the clock. I'm very busy. In fact, it takes 100% of my energy just to survive at this level, right? And now I'm looking to augment my results. I'm looking to get into a higher level of production, which seems unreasonable. And that's the word. That's the word I wanted to focus on today. Unreasonable. The late George Bernard Shaw, the great British playwright, said that the reasonable man tries to adapt himself to his environment. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the environment to himself. Therefore, all progress relies on the unreasonable man. Unreasonable. I had this conversation with one of our more advanced students yesterday. We were talking about making decisions and getting out of our comfort zones and doing things in a way that would produce, that must produce a different result, right? Because if we change the methods, right, and we change the doing this, well, the having this has to change too, right? There's a whole law of this stuff, right? So that we can say, you look around the you know, just planet Earth, there's the law of exchange, right? People exchange money for things that they consider more valuable than the money. There's the law of rhythm, right? Like we talked about the tide the other day. The tide goes out, the tide comes in. That's a rhythm, right? So these are various natural laws that we can experience in life. So when we look at, you know, a change in the doing of stuff, where there's going to be a change in the circumstances, the consequences of those actions. Okay, here's the big thing though. They're uncomfortable actions. I'm comfortable doing what I already know. You guys know that I've been for 30 something years, right? Going to the gym every day until this damn virus pandemic thing hit. Now I can't even go to the gym. So what? We had Mike. I don't know if Mike's on here. We had Mike maybe a week ago offer a YouTube video of this guy who's like totally like completely fit. His abs look like, shredded wheat, just, picture perfect. Right. And this guy does like calisthenics and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm going to learn this. Thanks, Mike. So here's been my challenge, right? Is like, I know how to do my morning meditation, do my study, get to the gym at a certain time, and then typically get my daughter to school and do all the other things that I do before I get, into a welcome session with our new members, our daily success call with you. My routine is broken. And I'll tell you what's unreasonable. What's unreasonable is me having to learn a different routine, right? So a lot of days I'm just defaulting to running around the block, right? We'll go run, right? Do something, because as you guys know, our stats are through the friggin' roof. Like we got so many new members. This room is maxed out every day and has been for probably 2 weeks now before we even go live. Okay. So it is just getting bigger, stronger, and faster. Amazon, as you know, hired 100,000 new employees just for the US market and gave everybody a raise. That's happening right before our eyes. So e-commerce in terms of our timing is spectacular. Okay. But embracing that opportunity, right. And really digging in. Like we had an example here just a moment ago, Justine, who's brand new to the community, right, is really pushing forward through the modules and really looking to execute and understand each piece of this. Very nice, very commendable. And if we have an opening in our time and in our lifestyle, it actually can be rather convenient, right? It's like, hey, this door just closed, this other one is opening, but still the inertia exists. So the end phenomenon of all the stuff that I read today from Hal is, yes, the inertia exists. And even though I've got good reason and purpose to go and move in this other direction and to take additional actions that I did not take before, I still have to overcome my inertia, and it's still going to be unreasonable because we're creatures of habit. I'll quote again the late Albert E.N. Gray, who I know all of you have heard me quote this guy before. It was one of the first things you heard from me when we first met. And that is that the common denominator of success, according to Albert, right, is successful people have formed the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. Okay, so it's not enough to just say, I'm going to make this big heroic decision. I'm going to get off of zero. I'm going to overcome inertia. We actually do that habitually to the point where we no longer have to think about it. That becomes our new comfort zone. That becomes the thing that we just do by default. And oh, wouldn't you know it, it bears fruit. How nice. But we had to be deliberate about that. And we had to get a bit unreasonable with ourselves, because reason is limited. Reason is limited based on what I already know. And it's good and useful. That's nice, right? I know how to survive in the world because I can reason that if I walk out in front of that speeding car, that it will destroy my body. Thank you, right? That's good. That's a good mental faculty to have. It's called reason. Very nice. It works with another faculty called memory. Nice. What I'm suggesting is that we develop a forgettery to go along with our memory, right? Is that we hit the reset button on a few of those habits that have not, bared fruit to the degree that we would like. Not comfortable. Not comfortable. Do you have a reason to do so? Well, you damn well better. Okay. And if not now, then when? So we got to get busy, right? In fact, I would say to a lot of us here, I've got many appointments over the next couple of days. And I know we're getting ready for Passover and Easter and all that is coming up here right away. In fact, I'm not sure about all the start days of Jewish holidays, but happy Passover to our Jewish friends. But this is a time of renewal, right? Spring is upon us. Of course, if you're in the southern hemisphere, autumn is upon you. But this is a time to make some new decisions and to get some stuff done, which may not be natural to you. You may not have done that up to this point. But for those of you launching this business in April, which is most of you here, this is it is time. It is time to get things going. So I am really excited for you. And I'm excited for myself too, because every reminder that I get about things that I could do that I haven't done up to this point is just another opportunity for me to get unreasonable with myself and say, you know what, enough standing on ceremony, right? I've got these projects, these purposes, these ideas in mind. And if not now, then when? Am I waiting for some more congenial circumstances? And in a way, we had this conversation yesterday with the coach, Amanda, right? She's like, well, yeah, you can go ahead and start executing this whole FBA process, right? Yeah, there's some slowdowns, not necessarily stops, but I think that's a major perception issue, right? When we look at what are we willing to do right now, and what are we willing to put off till later. So maybe take some inventory on that, see where you fall in with all that, and let's decide, like we did, I think it was earlier this week, we had this conversation. What's one thing that I could get done today, right? That would move me closer towards the fulfillment of my goals, the achievement of my goals, and the fulfillment of my purposes. One thing, get it done. It may be unreasonable. Fine, get it done, right? And for the most part, guys, as you know, imperfect and done beats perfect and not done. So don't stand on ceremony. It's very few things that, will occur as perfect, whatever that means, right? For the most part, we're just swimming in a sea of gray. So let's get stuff done. And again, I'll look at Sophie as a beautiful example of this. Sophie listed over 100 products in her first year. She raised her standards to the point where they weren't all winners, of course, but we feed the winners, we wipe out the losers, and she scales up. And next thing you know, financial freedom for herself and her family. Right? We're going to leverage that experience. Everyone here has the ability to do that. That's what you signed up for, right? Let's raise our standards. Let's get a bit unreasonable. Let's get through the jet stream process. Let's do some strategy sessions, and let's get this show on the road, because there is billions of dollars changing hands every day. Some of that should go to you, I think. Hopefully you think that too. Anyway, those are my thoughts today, just based on, getting it done, getting unreasonable, creating some new habits. I'm done talking. If you guys want to come on out, feel free to unmute your mics. Jason's got the floor. Hey, Jason.
Can you repeat the reasonable and unreasonable man thing again?
Yeah.
The George Bernard Shaw quote?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go ahead and give you verbatim, because I paraphrased. And this guy was a playwright, right? So you gotta say it exactly the way he said it. Unreasonable. A little bit of background noise there on somebody's line. Somebody who's got a white headset on. I can't see you right now. Okay, so it says here, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. And I suppose you could put women in there as well. This was written a little while ago, and that was the modern parlance. There it is in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay,
Good.
Got it. Thank you, Jason. Who else wants to talk?
I just actually want to add a little something to that. Just I'm reading through that Hal Elrod Miracle Morning. Mm-hmm. It's been good. I mean, in a sense of just seeing kind of my habits of how I get up in the morning, how I do things, and trying to restructure that. It's painful, but it's already happening. It only takes a couple of days, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Then I'm starting to narrow it down, concise it down. What do I need for this direct time, this hour? And then I can branch out from there to add more exercise. So do some exercise that really just kind of stimulates a little bit of heart rate, brain, and then that's enough for right now. And then get the rest in, and then I can do some stuff later on that actually does muscles and all that kind of stuff. Right. But yeah, trying to condense it down a little bit so it's not like drawn out for 2 hours. It's like, okay, I need to get this more concise. So writing things down, how am I going to break it down? So it's been good. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Do you find that you do a second workout? I'm interested in your thoughts specifically, Jason, because you're into, physical, therapy and stuff like that.
Yes, because I'm trying to condense it down into those specific savers and only trying to get that, say, within an hour to hour and 15 at most. Mm-hmm. Then I'm not going to do a normal half an hour, 45-minute workout within that. I won't have time to do the rest of the stuff. So I'm going to have to do another session somewhere else in there. And then something else you don't know about me is that I'm a water skier, competitive. So that is part of exercise for me. So on the days that I do that, I don't do any other kind of formal, weightlifting or something like that, because it's too much to do. I break down and then I'm, sore. And so it's like trying to be the most specific and concise with how you're going to do it, to bring about the most efficiency type of thing. So yeah, trying to reschedule that is interesting, but it's been good. Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would I think I'm hearing from what Jason's talking about here is imperfect and done, right? So while we would like some cases the luxury of a specific regimen, you did half of it in the morning, so that's a done right there. Yeah. I just ran around the block for 15 minutes, and so that's a done. Not perfect, not optimal, but my goodness, you know what happens to me, guys? I sit down in my chair, like right now, we're having this conversation. This is my second meeting for today, and it's been a light day so far. So this is my second get together with people, and then I've got just a total flood of stuff happening on the computer, meetings and stuff. I find that going out and getting physical again is almost impossible for me until about 10 o'clock at night, local time here. And now what? I'm going to go lift weights or something at 10 o'clock at night? Probably not. Right. So I'm looking to break that inertia myself and be like, all right, 2 p.m. or I don't know exactly when, but I got to figure out. If I don't figure out, it's not going to happen. Right. So now it's on my calendar, and now I'm going to go run around the block again or do something. Right. Yeah. I was thinking go to the playground and hit the monkey bars and do some pull-ups. Guess what? They got them all roped off. You can't even touch the damn metal. What? I can't touch the metal. So, all right. Anyway.
No, it definitely is that you have to schedule it, like you've talked about scheduling and really going through that, but finding that specific time that you can add in another half an hour or whatever it's going to be that works into your schedule. Otherwise it won't get done. Absolutely right. It's like if you sit your bum down and start doing all your other stuff, it's like, where'd the day go? It's gone. Now we're on to tomorrow, and you have to figure it out then.
I got a suggestion for you, John.
Please.
Go onto Amazon and buy one of those monkey bars that clips to your door.
I got one, and it doesn't fit on any door. No, it doesn't fit on not even one door.
Go onto Amazon, buy yourself a DIY kit, and fix it. Done.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that because the one I bought apparently was the wrong one. I don't know. The doors don't have the molding. It's just a smooth, like a rounded corner on every door, and so the thing just slides right off, and then it gouges the wall. Now what? I got to do paint? Come on, really? So anyway. Thank you for that suggestion, Thomas. Who's next? Tolu.
Hey, John.
Hey.
Sorry. It's Griselle. How are you?
Hey, Griselle, our comedian friend from.
How are you?
England.
From England, but via New Jersey.
Yeah, I know. Welcome, girl. Welcome.
How are you? So I thought about you today because I got this book. Do you know this book?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought about getting it done. So just going back to what you and Jason were talking about scheduling, I was finding that if you don't schedule your time, even with Amazon, you kind of go into this black hole of just researching products, and you're in front of the computer kind of banging your head and getting into an inertia of, a product that you're stuck on or something like that because you want to make it work or something. So what I've started to do, and I implemented this week, and it's really helping, is that I kind of break down the day with just like, today I'm going to do a tutorial on helium-10 black box, tomorrow X-ray, and so on and so forth, so that when I'm in front of the computer looking at products, I even know what I'm doing. Because I think what's happening with so many of us, especially the newbies, is that we want to launch, we want to find that product, and there's just so much to learn, almost like the foundation to learn that when and if you find the product, you're not wasting all of this time just kind of looking and not knowing what tool to use or anything like this. So I don't know. I just thought that was a good rule of thumb to kind of understand the tool so that when you find the product, you kind of can weed through it quicker. I don't know. That was my 2 cents for today.
No, that's exactly right. That's the gradient of learning. You become more competent and faster. You know, speed and competence go together. Some of you who've been around for at least a month, right? You probably remember me telling the story of bringing my daughter to the NHRA pro drag races. We had the Arizona Nationals here. And these are, you know, nitro methane burning cars that do 340 miles an hour in like 3.7 seconds down a quarter-mile strip. The whole ground is shaking. The most amazing, powerful stuff with the most competent drivers in the world. And I said to my daughter, look, we're not paying to see, you know, grandma drive at reasonable speeds. No, we're paying to see the best, most competent people go as fast as possible, practically kill themselves repeatedly. That's what we're paying to see. And the first time she saw a nitro car go down the track, she had her little headset on, right? She was like, oh, she had never seen anything like that before, right? She's like, all right, when's the next one, right? So anyway, speed and competence go together. And then the technology gets transparent. So what Grisel's talking about is, yeah, let's go ahead and let's get grooved in with this whole helium thing and jungle scouts. And I mean, right now, I don't know. It's like kind of learning how to drive. Where's the gas pedal? How do I touch the steering wheel? Now I don't see the steering wheel. I see outside the windshield. So the more competent we become, the faster we can go, and the more extroverted, not introverted, right? Extroverted we can be, right? The technology disappears. I don't see Zoom right now. I see Grisel and Davina and Thomas and Jason and Pete and Christine. So great analogy, Grisel. Thank you. And tomorrow you're going to tell us a joke, I hope.
Yes, I will. And I would tell you guys what I'm doing for myself is that I have written down kind of like my mantra is like demand, competition, margin. Like I look at that all the time because as we're learning black box, you can really, and you kind of look at the products, you can assess demand like easy and whether or not you even want to spend any brain power on that. Because the other day, and this was frightening for me, I was in front of the computer for 5 hours and it went like that. Like that. And I was just like, no, this is not what I want my experience to be right now. I have kids and all of that stuff. And I was like, no. And I worked on one thing, like 1 or 2 things. I'm like, what just happened? I don't know. So that's kind of what I do. Learn the tools, people. Learn the tools. That's it.
And
that's beautiful. Thank you.
I think something good with that too is, in PT and osteo school, they always said if you only have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So you have to have more tools, which I totally understand. The more that you learn the different aspects of it, then you can apply it correctly. Otherwise, you're just trying to use one tool on the same thing, and you're just gonna no, not gonna work.
Good analogy. Another good metaphor there. Hammers see nails. That's what hammers see. Yeah, good stuff. I think Tolu or somebody else wanted to come out here. Tolu.
Yeah. Hello.
Tolu.
Hi. I forgot to ask Amanda yesterday. Regarding the UK and the US, is it possible to list your products on the 2 countries at the same time?
Great question for a coach or for one of our more seasoned members. Who's got an answer?
I can have a stab at that.
But you can, yeah.
You would have to have your product in both countries. You've got to have your stock in both countries, so there's nothing to stop you listing them.
With the same account you have with Amazon?
Well, no, I think you have to have the separate accounts.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but I think that's what I took from Bernadette yesterday, is that you have your 2 separate Amanda yesterday, you have your 2 separate accounts. So your US, your .com and your .co.uk.
Hey guys, I thought when you're signing up for your Amazon account, it asks you, do you want to sell, and we're here in the US, it asks you if you only want to sell in the US or do you want to sell in other countries. And so it seemed like it was an option when you sign up for your Amazon account. Has anybody else experienced that?
Yeah, I did the same thing, and it said you could check all the boxes if you wanted to sell.
Oh, you
And
can tick
then-
all the boxes if you want to sell in all the countries.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Because I haven't set up my accounts yet. So.
But Sophie still says to start with the US.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Good. And
Thank you.
Tolu, in your case, obviously you're basing your business in your jurisdiction, in your tax jurisdiction in your country, but selling into the U.S. is a must.
Yes, yeah,
So,
definitely, yeah.
So, and if it's just as simple as ticking the boxes, then there you go, right? So, yeah, I'll tell you that's the same thing on the author side, right? So, like when I publish via Amazon, it says, which countries do you want to sell it in? In fact, which commission accounts, you can have multiple bank accounts for multiple countries and different currencies and stuff. I'm like, well, just send everything in US dollars to this account, done. So that's how it works on the author, on the publishing side. Good question. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And somebody was asking, where's the YouTube channel? If you just go to YouTube and you type Blue Sky Daily, you can get all the recordings. Okay, so Blue Sky Daily, subscribe to that channel, and you will be subscribed to that channel. Who's next? Jackie's got her hand up. What's going on there, Jackie? You don't need to hold your hand up there like that. Your arm must be getting tired. You want to come out, Jackie?
Yeah, I didn't know if you missed me at the beginning.
I did. I had to say we're live instead of you saying it. I had to sound the alarm.
I was with Prime Corporate.
Oh, okay. That's a thrill.
So I did join you later, just to let you know, and I
Okay.
enjoyed it immensely.
Oh, well, so glad you're here, Jackie. Always good to see you, my friend.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, very good. Very good. Anybody else today? Come on out. Davina?
Yes, I had a question and just went over my head. Well, I guess I just want to comment too, because we're talking about being out of your comfort zone. So I've been in this maybe 6 weeks, and I'm always a go-getter and can really, drive, and I have the drive to do things, but this is so out of my comfort zone, like just learning the computer, and I've learned so much already. And I think for me, like the push is that I have to set the goals and little goals, and then look towards that goal to keep going and to motivate myself to keep doing this. Yeah, I don't know.
I missed part of the question. So was there a question in there? Because my sound...
No, just more of a comment, just
Okay.
That to work out of your comfort zone, for me, this whole e-commerce is just something so new to me that I feel every day I'm learning something new, but it's all out of my comfort zone. So I try to keep positive and look at positive things. And, again, like learning the tools, I'm on webinars with Jungle Scout and Helium 10, and they're great. But I'm finding myself now going back to Sophie's, the modules again, and starting to listen to them over again. And like they said, sometimes you miss things, and I've got my notes and I'm looking at it and I'm listening as I'm going through products. And again, yes, even though I'm understanding the tools, I've used up my free time with Helium 10 already, so I can't even use it unless I start paying for it right now.
Yeah, go ahead and get Helium 10.
Well, I did. I figured that's what I'm going to do. And then I talked with Lisa Mitchell, one of the coaches, and she says, no, you don't have to get that yet. But I can't even assess everything now without some of the tools. So I didn't know, if
Lisa Mitchell told you not to get Helium 10?
Just yet, she said. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to talk with Lisa today. That's interesting. Did she tell you to do something else besides that?
No, I mean, when you look at the coaching calls and what they're going to do, they're going to help you crunch numbers and do stuff like that. But I feel like, so then like I went on webinars with Jungle Scout yesterday, and they kind of had a whole different tool in there that really was a little bit different on how to source products and do wholesaling. And that was interesting. So I think if I sign up for my free trial there, I can use that for now. But
I don't know if you missed it at the start there, Davina, when we before we started this live. I showed some of the group that you can use part of the Helium for free on the Google Chrome browser, and you can use a thing called X-Ray, and that lists all your product and tells you what all the figures are for.
You can use that for free?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't. It's not part of your 20 searches or whatever it is that you can just click on that and away you go.
Because like my black box, I used all my searches, and my
don't worry about the black box.
I can only put one.
Yeah, I've been using the X-Ray rather than the black box.
Okay.
It's up in your Google
Chrome.
I've
seen that.
Yeah.
Okay. Google.
But that's very good because it throws up a box that details all the the demand and that sort of stuff. So it's very good.
Hi, this is Cam.
Hey, Cam.
Hi, how you all doing? So I've got a bit of a croaky voice, so excuse me. I just wanted to let you all know there is actually a little bit more learning available, and it's for free. On Helium 10, there's an option to go to Freedom Ticket. I don't know if any of you know this. It's normally just under $1,000 to do this course, but they're actually offering it free. To anyone that wants to have a go, which I think is really good. There's a free access code that you enter in to be able to have access to it, and I think that should give us some more really good information, particularly at the early stages that some of us are in. But yeah, have a go.
There's $100,000 course for free.
$1,000.
Oh, okay.
100,000, I'd be.
Why not $1 million? It's a
it could be worth it could be worth $1 million to us, right? But it's free.
Good point. Yeah.
So
I have it, but I'm paying for it.
Oh, okay. I'll send the link in the chat so you guys can have access to it.
Very good.
So just
and put that right after
Donna's
comment of poop, and then her follow-up comment. I don't know how that jumped up there. Do not type that was just walking to car, question mark. Okay, very good, Donna. Very good. We want to hold you to account for that. Any other lingering, burning desires, anything we got to cover today before we?
I got a question.
Yes, let's go with Kurt first. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, anybody have any opinion on Prime Corporate? I had them do my LLC and all that, but I didn't pull the trigger on the tax and accounting. Has anyone researched the difference between having Prime Corporate do it and having a local accountant service do it?
Yes, I have. So Prime Corporate is very good at what they do for a fee. The fee is not insignificant. If you already have an accountant, depending on your affinity and the competence of that accountant, you just want to go with their advice. Now, if that's not the case, Prime Corporate can save you a bunch of money. But it's going to be a couple $1,000s. Me personally, I pay a couple $1,000s a year anyway to a really badass accountant. All right. So for me, it's a wash. Yeah. Karen liked that. Yeah. Oh, my accountant's ferocious. She's ex-IRS. So there's that.
I had a question.
Kurt, does that answer your question? You good?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Davina, your question?
Oh my gosh, just went out my head.
There you go. There's that. Davina, hold that thought. Camilla, you had a question?
Yes, I was just wondering, Thomas was mentioning some part of Helium where you clicked on something to get access for free. You said earlier, Thomas?
It's an extension you have to download through Chrome. It's a Chrome extension. It's the Helium 10 Chrome extension. And it puts a little box on the top of your browser that drops down, and you can use Helium 10 functionality without using up your free time on Helium 10. I wanted to mention also in terms of people that are having debates about whether or not to buy some of these tools. I don't know if you guys all saw, but on the Blue Sky Amazon portal, there's a page for coupons and discounts. And so there's like a 70% off Jungle Scout or some other stuff like that.
Yeah. So, and you're referring to, is that in the Facebook group or where's that?
No, that's on the Amazon Blue Sky portal where our courses all are. There's a section there for coupons and discounts.
Very good.
I have a quick question, John.
Thank you, Stuart. Yes, go ahead.
It said on Facebook page that there might not be the live session with Sophie because of Good Friday.
Yes.
Friday, yep.
Is that true? Is there a live session?
I was told that it will not be this week in observation of Good Friday, which Friday is about to start. In fact, Friday already started in New Zealand.
Right.
Yeah,
So that would be today.
Yeah. So it's 4:45 in the morning in New Zealand right now. So it's Good Friday.
Great. Good.
Do you want me to do a quick screen share of that helium-10 thing again, John?
Yeah, I think we're seeing it right now. Go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah. Okay. So if you look at your product, say I've just pulled up this one here. It's a soap, and then you go up to your helium-10 extension there. Look, it throws up this thing called X-ray. You click on that.
Right, John.
Click on that, and you get this box opens up, and it gives you all the product details and total revenue, average revenue, seller rating, average price, etc., etc. So that's what I've been using.
Justine's been going through this the last couple of days with product assessment too on her webinar.
Very good. Okay, so that's what the Chrome extension looks like. Thank you, guys. Any other last minute stuff? Davina, did you come up with your question?
No.
Oh.
I have a question.
Type something.
Okay.
The Christine Berry webinar that's been happening this week happens late UK time, but we can watch that. It's on it's on Blue Sky, yeah?
Somebody said it's on. You can get it on Facebook.
It's on the Facebook? Okay.
That's what we read. That's what I read on chat.
Okay.
It's in Facebook. Look under the file tab.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted,
Thank you.
Up there
I just
earlier.
posted the link to the Helium browser for anybody that wants it, for the Chrome extension.
Just to what?
I posted the link to the Chrome extension on the chat there if anybody wants it.
You see, the problem with me is I'm so old. They still had me making aprons while everybody else was learning about computers. I have no idea how these things work.
Oh, Karen, you got a lot of game left in you. We're not worried about you. You're going to be just fine.
I know how to sew an apron.
Right. Okay. And you know how to deal with horses. Guess what I don't know? Guess what I don't know?
I know about horses.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. Any other burning desires? Last call. Pete, Christine?
I think are we doing this tomorrow, John, as well?
Yeah.
Oh, we are. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not gonna miss you guys for 3 days straight. So tomorrow's Fun Friday anyway. We're just gonna hang out, but I'm sure we'll have some profundities and some great insights too. But I deserve to be reminded of right thinking daily.
Can we bring our Easter eggs along and eat them?
Please do. Actually, no. Easter eggs would be early. We could do that on Monday if you want, but no, we got to do Easter once Easter has occurred, right? So anyway, good to see you guys. Anybody else, real quick? Davina?
Oh.
No.
Hello.
Yes. Dawn?
I just want to say hello. I'm a newbie, really fresh newbie. I'm in Hertfordshire, England, just outside of London. And that was actually out of my comfort zone. So hi.
Dawn, and you did it like full blown. Here I am. I'm Dawn. Everybody, that's Dawn right there. Yay. Welcome, Dawn. All right.
I tried yesterday, but Zoom is new to me. So I was there for half an hour before and I was thinking, can you join before? Can you join before? Anyway, I didn't. And I joined on the dot and It was full.
You can join before. The meeting happens before the meeting for anybody who
Yeah,
cares to
so I
participate.
did that today.
Yeah.
I was very proud.
Very good. Well, you're awesome, Dawn. Glad you're here. Looking forward to working with you. Guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We good? Let's wrap up.
Have a good day.
All right.
John,
That's a
thank
wrap.
you.
You guys will see you
Have a good
tomorrow. Enjoy
Bye.
your evening.
Bye.
It's so good to be here with you all each day. All right. Welcome again to our new members. See you tomorrow.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.